Hi, Genki Call here with the Soulforge offerings for the week of May 23rd, 2022. Before I start, next week we are going to Pridelands, and that means that you will have a chance to craft the rope dart. If you don't yet have the rope dart, save 300 diamonds for it. You'll also need 600 of these and 600 of the sapphires. That will get you rope dart. Now, there's also going to be Twin Claws next week, which is one of my personal favorite types of weapons, and I enjoy using it. That will be exactly what you see here, 300 diamonds and 600 of the yellow, 600 of the purple. So anyway, let's get into what we do have this week. Just want to be sure that you save some diamonds for next week and some resources if you want rope dart, because that is one of the best weapons in the whole game. So for this week, we have Legendaries first. We have the Goblin King, who is, I don't personally care for this troop. I never use him. Maybe when I was lower level, he would have been useful to me, but at this point, he just kind of meh to me. Shadow Dragon is another. I really don't use that often. He does poison all enemies and do true damage to a random enemy, and transforms yellow gems to purple to boost the effect. So this damage will go up with the times 3 boost ratio, an extra 3 points of damage for every yellow gem that you transform. So that is nice. This could be used with Scorpius to poison all of the enemies. If you don't have Magnus, this would totally work. And if you don't have Uriali. But this would work. And Scorpius is in the Soulforge right now, so that is relevant. Would I spend 800 diamonds on it? Absolutely not. However, the info is out there. Anyway, it's personal choice. Willow, I really enjoy using in Delves. This is boosted quite a lot by your horde. It is damage to all enemies, boosted by brown gems destroyed when you destroy a row, an extra 3 damage for every single brown gem that you destroy. So it's doing some nice AoE damage in the delves. I don't use her besides that, but I do like the troop a lot. Again, I wouldn't spend 800 diamonds on it, but it is there. Grizz the Undefeated. I never use this guy. Deal damage to an enemy, curse them, and inflict 2 to 4 stacks of bleed. 4 stacks of bleed will do 10 true damage every turn. That is true, but there are other troops. The only really big thing we've got here is double skull damage versus humans. So if you're fighting in Sword's Edge, no, that's knights. So if you're fighting in Leonis Empire, or the other one is where the divines are, which I can't remember right now, but the 2 human kingdoms, I mean, he could be useful in that case. I don't particularly like the troop myself. These guys are always here. And then let's get to the stuff that isn't. This is always here. This is always here. Queen Aurora. The reason that Queen Aurora is significant is because she is from Silverglade, and there are only 2 mythics there, and this is a magic kingdom. So having at least 1 mythic for Silverglade so you're not power blocked there is going to be very helpful. It means +1 magic to all of your troops across the board. I've rarely used this troop, but I was so excited to get her because I was no longer power blocked in Silverglade and was able to get my boost on magic. So this Rainbow Link gained bonus mana from all gem matches. That's +1 to every single color that you match. So if you match 3 red, you get actually 4. You match 3 purple, you actually get 4 of that as well. Just for everything. This is the only troop in the game that has this Rainbow Link that I'm aware of. Scorpius is really good. He does insta-kill anything that's poisoned. Now, there are troops that are immune to poison in every kingdom except for Nexus, so he's really good for level 12 explorers in Nexus. Running him with Uriali, who has a trait to poison all enemies on match 4s, is what generally people like to do, but I like to use Magnus with him, who will poison all enemies whenever he casts. And there's also the Shadow Dragon, which I just mentioned also, that does the same. Also, this is significant. all brown allies gain 1 to all stats at the start of each turn. And the reason that this is significant is because everything is going up. Everything including magic. And if you have a troop like, say, the Archduke or the Consort, well, not the Consort of Darkness, but the Archduke uses brown. And so using the Archduke with Scorpius just really boosts up that magic every single turn, and especially since the Archduke also gets 3 magic when his turn begins anyway, so +4 magic every single turn when you run him with Scorpius. Now, this... Right, so getting that magic up is really important because that's more of a chance to insta-kill. The only things that can't be insta-killed in the game, the lethal damage, that is Leonis Tower, the Dooms, Raid Boss Zul'Goth, and not Zul'Goth, the Raid Boss specifically, and just towers in general, and Enraged Kurandara. Those are the only things in the game that cannot be insta-killed. So he is useful, but I think he's more useful when you run him with Scorpius. So if you have to choose between the two, I would say go for Scorpius. These guys are always here. Then we have Ullor. Now, Ullor is significant because he is fantastic in Guild Wars for fighting books. So on blue, brown, or purple day, if you're fighting those darned tomes, he's going to take away attack from the first 2 enemies, meaning that the skulls used against you aren't going to do as much damage. And then he's going to take magic from the last 2 enemies, which is typically where people put their tomes, and it's going to take away the scatter damage from the tomes so that they don't do as much damage that way either. You can completely castrate your team with this troop. I love it. It's fantastic for Guild Wars. I do enjoy that about him, and generally don't use him besides that, but he is very good for that purpose. Everything else is always here. I have to cough, hold on. Yes. So, for weapons. Now, I must have all weapons. I have to have them all because I do not want to get weapon blocked. It is too far and few between going to one kingdom to risk not being able... I mean, to get weapon blocked for a power level is really painful because it could be a very long time before you get back there. That is the point I wanted to make. And also, Tacit pointed out that you literally have to have every single Leonis Empire weapon that exists, except for the paywall one, in order to get your power level up to the max for that is now available in Leonis Empire. So I have to have these regardless, but let's go over them. The Golden Sun eliminates another one that eliminates all armor, and then you gain a bunch of gold boosted by the armor eliminated, which doesn't sound fantastic, but you know, it's there. It's okay. The Fleur de Lion, why can't I say that? Fleur de Lion. Heavy splash damage to an enemy, and if the enemy is stunned, explode 4 gems. So run it with Elementalist or with Obsidius for a guaranteed stun, and you'll blow a bunch of stuff up, have a chance to loop. And the heavy splash damage means that you hit a troop in the middle here, it's going to hit the troops on either side of it and do 75% of this damage. So 75%. That's easy. I can't do my math right now though, so anyway. That's more than 50%, it's 75%. It's just not 100%. Anyway, I'm so sorry, I'm so tired. Let's grab this. Let's grab it. I want it. I must have it. There are weapons that do it better, but you know, it is something that can be used in events and when for certain colors. This is one of the cheap the cheap weapons for 75 diamonds. Remove all blue gems, deal damage to an enemy boosted by the gems removed. You will not get any of that mana for yourself. However, you will deny it to your enemy. So, you know, Blue Guild Wars Day, take away all their blue gems. it's a thought. And if the enemies from Leona's Empire deal double damage. And it's not fantastic, however, I must have it. Must have all weapons. Alright, what else? Orpheus's verse. What does this do? Deal damage to an enemy boosted by human allies, then create a mix of blue and yellow gems for each human ally. So the way to see whether or not this is something you would actually use is, it was blue and yellow, right? So we go into troops, we go into troop types human, and we sort by blue and yellow and see if there's a team that you would actually use with those parameters. And you can see, oh, Tesla. We've got Tesla. I mean, we've got some good troops here that we could use on a team together. I mean, just 2 Teslas. Would I use that weapon with Tesla? Probably not, because it's blue and yellow, and I really want blue and red, but the yellow could feed Holy Saint Astra, who is typical to put on a team with Tesla. So you've got that weapon, 2 Teslas, Holy Saint Astra. Holy Saint Astra will enchant Tesla, so it could be used, and it could be a very good team. So that is a possibility. Again, we have Rope Dart next week, though. Chris Hook. Damage to an enemy boosted by Leona's Empire allies. Yeah, create a mix of 6 yellow and brown gems. I would say that the other one is more useful than this one, but again, personal preference, it plays largely into these things. But that is it for the Soulforge video. Now, except I do have one more thing, and that is to show you we have started a new mythic cycle. Check this out. King Ollie rocks. Ready? Oh! All of the remaining Soulforge mythics, King Ollie puts this together every single week so that we can keep track of what's coming up in the Soulforge, what has already passed and what is left in the Soulforge. So it's really, really useful. He puts this together for his guild every week, and he is kind enough to share this information. He does have room in his guild, by the way, if anybody is interested. He is on PlayStation, and you could just do a search for King Ollie. I'll put his information in the comments down below, so if you want that info, you can have it. And a link to this image for you as well in the description below. So that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you folks soon. Bye!